before we discuss Michail Antonio, and before we discuss Dclan Rice and Coufal, and in particular, the limited, well, 0 to limited amount that they're going to play in international football and how good it will be for West Ham, I've been asked to give my opinion on a subject matter, and it's to do with West Ham, and it's something I hear crop up quite a lot, and something that really, really interests me, actually, and that's, you've been a West Ham fan all your life, and you meet somebody, and they're not particularly into football, right? So they're going to get it in the ear all the time. West Ham, West Ham. You sort of half marry into supporting it. You take your partner along to football and so on and so forth. If you don't, then they become a sort of football widow, don't they? But the point is, do they become a West Ham fan? Not always the case, by the way. So Gatesy, who will comment along in here and does the Forge of Iron videos, his wife is a Tottenham fan. Now, clearly, he's not going to convert her, is he? But if you've got no interest in football, you marry a West Ham fan, do you become a West Ham fan? So I've thought about it. I've weighed it up. I've heard both closing statements. And if anyone else has got a story, I'd be very, very interested to hear it down below, in the comments below, obviously. But I've come to the conclusion that, Lisa, you married Adrian. He's a West Ham fan, so you're now a hammer. That's my final ruling. That's my final conclusion. That's it. If in the future, a future Mrs. Gonzo may well, highly more likely now I've got my hair cut, let's be perfectly honest, it's likely to happen very soon. And she's not interested in football, I'm pretty sure she would have to become a hammer. It would have to happen, wouldn't it? Talking of the Turkish barbers, by the way, I liked it. I just wanted to make that clear. I thought they were really good. I'm going back. They gave me a hot towel thing and a cup of tea, and I was only really, well, I wasn't joking about. They did put flames in my ears. That actually happened. That wasn't me embellishing the story. That did actually happen. But it was cool. They didn't set me on fire or anything like that. Probably wouldn't go with the waxed nostril again. It has to be said. But at least I know. At least I know for next time. So we'll be going back there for another Tintin haircut as soon as it gets a bit more dishevelled. Anyway. On to the subject at hand, which is Antonio has decided not to play for Jamaica. Now, I can't quite make up my mind whether the statement is the truth. I'll tell you more or less the statement in a minute. Or whether it's sort of shrouded in a little bit of cloak and dagger. In essence, is he saying he's just going to miss this next round of 3 games? So he was due to fly over. I think they might be playing in the US. I might have that wrong. It doesn't matter. They got 3 games. I think he was due to be flying over, and now he's not going to do it. And apparently, Jamaica and West Ham have been talking, and they've decided not to do it. Now, there's certain COVID and quarantine implications to travelling abroad anyway, but I don't think it's just that. I'm just wondering if, because he's basically said he looks forward to being involved with him in the future, but he's not going to play in these games. Now, it looks like they're not going to qualify after these 3 games. They've been absolutely terrible. They're in terrible form, basically. So he wouldn't have to play any international football for quite a while anyway. That's a really good thing. That's really, really good news, let's be perfectly honest. And I just wonder with it if he's seen the start to the season, and he's probably more aware now how important he is to West Ham. I wonder if he's now had a sort of sniff of the glory, if you like, for want of a better phrase, in as much as he's played in European football, he's scored in European football. I can understand why he wanted to get involved in international football. He wanted to, let's be fair, he's at the end of his career. He wanted to sample something else. He wanted to increase his exposure to the international game and so on and so forth, and not just be Michail Antonio from West Ham. But I think within the time of him deciding that it's probably been a decision, I think it was 7-8 months ago. I think between the time of him deciding he wanted to go and play international football for Jamaica and now, it's changed for him. He's actually, I think he's widely recognised as one of the best strikers in the Premier League now. You don't feel that the commentators speak about him with a sort of element of surprise in their voice, do you? And I also think now he's sort of sampled a bit of European football. He's wonder if he's thinking, I can get my European fix, or my whatever that fix he thought he might have been getting from international football. He's going to get that from playing European football with West Ham. I wonder, and I don't think he'll ever admit this, because he wouldn't. Why would he upset anyone in Jamaica or anything like that? Clearly, he's got Jamaican family, otherwise he wouldn't play for Jamaica. Well, he's not going to go and upset people and say anything, but I do wonder if he sort of regrets the decision, if he regrets doing that. And don't forget, you're now dealing with somebody who's already sampled what it entails of playing international football when you don't play for a home nation. It's one thing playing for England or Scotland, it's another playing halfway across the world when you don't live halfway across the world. And as much as he's, you know, he would have, I don't know, he might have family out there. Maybe his family are from 2 generations ago. I just don't know. It's not like Lanzini getting picked for Argentina. Lanzini's going home when he gets picked for Argentina, right? That's just the way it is. Antonio is going to Jamaica, not going home, is he? So he's going to somewhere he might have spent time on holidays, and he obviously spent some time there. But the whole logistics of flying out there, I'm just wondering if he's thinking, actually, I'm going to really struggle to be at my very best and to remain fit. Not just, it's not, when I say fit, I don't just mean uninjured. I mean fit. And I just wonder if he's just thought twice about it. So, I think it's really, really good news. I wouldn't deny anybody their dreams and their ambitions, particularly to go and play international football. But if you can scratch that itch whilst at West Ham, it's not surprising me that everybody sat down and said, look, let's think about this sensibly. He is our only striking option. It's as simple as that, really. And as I said before, particularly if you're going to play, and if you're going to play Bowen in the team at the same time as Antonio, then Bowen really can't be back up to Antonio. Basically, if Antonio's out, you're missing an attacking midfielder. And let's be perfectly frank, at this present moment in time, there's not really anybody to step in the first team that's not already there that's going to be as good as him. I'm talking about Bowen there, by the way. In terms of, right, Coufal's injured, as you know. We mentioned it yesterday. It's a minor injury. He's going to miss the 2 international games that the Czech Republic have got. Good. Because I'm pretty sure within the 2 weeks he'll be fit again. Not a problem. I just think it's sort of come at the right time. I just think he'll benefit more for that. I think it's the right thing to do for everybody, for West Ham and for the Czech Republic. He's played a lot of games for West Ham, a lot of games for Czech Republic. Let's give him a couple of weeks rest. The Declan Rice one is a little bit interesting, really, because say missed training. Now, really, the Andorra game's coming up. Declan Rice will play at some point. What we don't want him to do is play all the time. Ideally, like, if I had my choice, he wouldn't play at all. Again, he's another one that needs a rest. But we can't tell England not to play him, because we've been playing him all the time, and it's a point that Gio made, you know, very well indeed. That being said, I would like him not to play very much. The Andorra game, come on, you know. I'm hoping Southgate does the right thing here. Andorra will be a walkover. It's not just Declan Rice. He doesn't have to play Grealish. He can play Lingard. He doesn't have to play, I'm just trying to think of whatever. He doesn't have to play Harry Kane. You know, he can play whatever, or Ollie Watkins, or Calvert-Lewin, or whatever the case may be. He doesn't have to play his top players. Maguire can have a rest. Whatever team he puts out will be able to take him on. Give Jude Bellingham a game. I mean, you know, do him the world. Get Jude Bellingham to score a couple of goals for England. I mean, it'd be fantastic, wouldn't it? He certainly doesn't need his 2 holding midfielders. The only thing that worries me, I think, Phillips has pulled out. Has pulled out. I don't know if you've got a knock for Leeds or something. And obviously those are his chosen 2, and you just worry that Southgate might think, oh, okay, well, Phillips is out. I definitely got to play Declan. Well, you don't. So don't. I'll tell Gareth Southgate, Gareth, I'll tell you now, here's your midfield, mate. Why don't you go with Jordan Henderson and Jude Bellingham as your 2 in central midfield. Job done. Sorted. Don't have to worry about anything else. Give Declan a rest. I think he really, really needs it. And if he can do that, then he more or less gets a week off, which would be really, really good. And if if Southgate decides he wants to play him at the weekend, you know, I guess so be it. But I'd really like to see him miss. I think it's tonight, isn't it? The Andorra game might be tonight. Quite possibly. I don't think poor old Souček's going to get a rest. You sort of hope the international teams have their own, well, of course they have their own medical people, but the people that's going to study the data and you know, maybe they might look and think, actually, you know, we won't play him. I mean, Crowell needs a game, definitely. It's not like no West Ham player should be playing international football. Far from it. You know, some of them need it. I think he didn't get picked. Zuma didn't get picked for France. I think it might have been good for Zuma to play another game, actually. But in all honesty, I don't know how important the game for the Czech Republic are. So if it's a very, very important game, you can't really blame them for picking Souček, can you? Let's be perfectly honest. He's their one of their star players, certainly. Anyway, there we go. That's it for today, and there'll probably be no more Barber talk tomorrow. I really appreciate your comments, by the way, on the video yesterday. Absolutely loved them. Thank you very much. I don't think I've read most of them. I've replied to many. I've got a few more. I'm going to go back and read a few more now, once I've uploaded this video. And yeah, well, listen, have a lovely, lovely day, whatever you're up to. Bloody miserable out there. Bloody miserable. Most of you back to work now, are you? Anyone still furloughed? What are you up to? In fact, don't tell me what you're up to in the comments. I want to know. What I want to know is, are you a West Ham fan? And is your missus a Millwall fan? That's what I want to know.